Today, we're diving into a story that's grabbing the headlines all over New Jersey. And honestly, it probably should be grabbing the attention of people across the country too. Imagine your family's been farming the exact same land for 175 years, spanning over 4 generations. Then one day, the local town knocks on the door and says, "We're taking it." Well, that's exactly what's happening in Cranbury, New Jersey, to an historic farm that's under threat from eminent domain. Now, on today's video, we're going to cover exactly what eminent domain is, what's happening on the township, and why this is occurring. Before we get started though, if it is your first time to the channel, my name is Stephen Cutchin, and I'm a realtor at Berkshire Hathaway. And on the Live in Central Jersey channel, we cover everything related to the Central Jersey real estate market. So if you're the first one to know what's going on either Monmouth or Ocean County real estate, feel free to click the bell, hit the subscribe button. Let's get this video started. To kick us off, let's talk exactly what eminent domain is. And if you're unfamiliar, eminent domain is a legal power that the government can use and take private property for public use. And they'll do so by paying fair market value, or at least that's what they call it. So it's meant for things like roads, schools, utilities, projects that serve a clear public interest and public need. But over the last few years, it's also been used for more controversial purposes like economic redevelopment, or in this case, affordable housing. And that seems fair on paper, right? But who gets to decide exactly what the public land should be used for in this aspect too, and what's necessary for the township to move forward? Is an affordable housing complex really benefiting Cranbury, New Jersey, or is there really not much need for it in any sense at all? On top of that, when it comes down to fair market value, how is this process getting done? Or is the township ordering an appraisal? For instance, on a residential transaction, if you're getting a mortgage, the bank's going to make you get an appraisal on the property to make sure it's really worth what you are paying for it. Or is the township also going to take into account of maybe previous offers for the land? For instance, we'll get to in just a second, the Henry brothers have had an offer on this, and they reportedly said it's worth about $30 million. Not sure how true that is, but if so, is the township taking that into account? Because isn't something really worth what someone's willing to pay for it? So we'll kind of get a little bit more into this and more in depth, but does it all really make sense? And the big question is, why is Cranbury actually doing this? Well, the township is under pressure to comply with New Jersey's new affordable housing laws, which basically says that every township that we have here in New Jersey has to have X amount of number of affordable housing based on their size, population, and a couple other different factors by 2035. If they don't, they risk getting sued by developers under something called the Builders Remedy Lawsuit, which can actually have worse consequences for them, the best way to put that. And they could even approve bigger projects in throughout the township. So Cranberry's basically zoned this farm, this 21-acre farm, for these 265 units that they have to build of affordable housing. There's also a few things I kind of see wrong with this. First, the builders being allowed to sue if Cranberry doesn't meet their obligations. It seems like they must be the ones running New Jersey at that point, or the ones running this entire project. So that seems a little bit off to me. Next, what about the size of Cranberry compared to the number of their units? 265 for Cranberry, New Jersey seems relatively larger or not possible compared to what they really should have to do. And that's similar to some of the beach towns that we have here in Monmouth and Ocean County, whereas Belmar, Asbury Park, and some other townships Asbury Park, I guess, might be not the best example because they're building nonstop over there, but for Belmar and maybe Avon or Spring Lake, there's really not much land to be able to do so. We already have homes on top of homes over there. So I don't know if necessarily these estimations were really correct to begin with. And then last, we are still the Garden State. So why are we having to be forced to constantly give up our farmland to accommodate for more building and inventory there too? Now, how about the family through all of this? Well, what are they saying? Well, this land also isn't just empty land sitting idle. If the land was not being used, I could kind of see this project being more favorable for the township and make sense. But that's not the case. The Henry brothers have been farming this for decades, and they've invested supposedly over $200,000 into improvements and equipment. They've raised 40 heads of cattle, and they've even turned down private offers, like I mentioned before, of possibly up to $30 million because they want to keep it as a working farm. Don't know how legit that number is, but let's just say it is true. Losing half of that land would destroy their operation completely, so they're fighting back with a lawsuit, arguing that the town could have picked other sites and this seizure isn't really necessary. Meanwhile, Cranberry officials say their hands are basically tied, right? They're claiming that the state's affordable housing mandates give them few, if any, options at all, and they can't really step in and help protect whatever the farm is. So if they don't, they can possibly get sued by the builders like we talked about, and bigger developments in less desirable areas of town could happen. So what it's really turned down to is more of a private property rights versus public housing question. And it's raising bigger questions even to what's really good for public use, or what's really in the best interest of the public and Cranberry Township in general. So is it worth going into affordable housing or building more affordable housing? Or is it really that great that we're displacing a family of 4 generations on their farmland? And I don't want to come off also as insensitive to the topic of affordable housing, because we don't have enough inventory here in New Jersey. And I've said that numerous times on this channel. Pretty much, let's just say every market report that I do, I talk about the lack of homes on the market, right? But at what point is enough, or is it too much that if you ask the majority of the population here in New Jersey tomorrow, I could pretty much guarantee the large majority would say it's getting too crowded here in New Jersey. But also at the same time, the problem is if we do stop building enough homes and enough areas to live, prices are just going to keep skyrocketing and become unaffordable for the average person, average first time home buyer at the same time. So we're kind of in a little bit of a catch 22. To kind of wrap things up a little bit, if a town is being forced to take a 4-generation farm that is actively being farmed and used, Cranbury doesn't seem to me, at least, that has a necessary space available for a 256 affordable housing complex, right? But what do you guys think? Should towns be allowed to take historic farmland for affordable housing, or is this a dangerous overreach of just government power in general? Drop your thoughts in the comments down below, and if you found this video interesting, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. We'd love to hear from you a little bit more. If you are looking to move to the area, whether that's buying or selling in Central Jersey, feel free to reach out. All my contact information is down low in the comments and description. So whether you're 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, even a year out, doesn't matter to me. Let's just get you on the right path towards your real estate goals. And if you're looking to move to possibly a different part of the Central Jersey area, check out 2 videos popping up and hopefully I'll upload it too. Have a great day.